Mark Mitchell is with us live. Minister, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Ryan.
It's good to be with you. Thank you for taking the time. Your reaction to the last 24 hours?
Total tragedy. Obviously this was always in the forefront of police's mind in dealing with this, what's a really complex case, is primarily around the safety of those children. I mean, the good news is, in fact it's great news, that the police did outstanding work and have recovered those children safely, and they're now in the care of Oranga Tamariki and family and wider family members. Complete and total tragedy that we had one of our police officers very nearly killed, obviously with critical injuries. He seems to have come through the surgery quite well overnight, and both myself and the Commissioner are keen to get on the road to get down there and visit him and his family. I just want to acknowledge all the police that were involved in the operation. We should be extremely proud of them. It was quite simply outstanding, very difficult situation to deal with. Obviously, my thoughts are with the family of the father who was killed. But at the end of the day, Ryan, it was him that chose to actually try and kill one of our police officers, and they did an outstanding job in dealing with what was a very difficult situation.
Yeah, I'm going to play for you in a minute some audio from, I was on ZB this morning, was speaking to a private investigator who's been looking for Tom Phillips. Some of the reaction from the public to this has been quite shocking. Have a listen to what he said, his observations over the last 24 hours.
I'm really surprised with the negativity around people that people are saying things like, I hope the cop doesn't survive. The system is bad. People are bullies. I find that absolutely disgusting.
Mark, what's your message to those people who think that Tom was a hero?
I agree with his comments. I think it's a disgrace and it's disgusting that people are taking a position like that. Quite simply, I'm a father, and I would not take my kids away or purposely keep them hidden in the bush for 4 years away from their broader family and support networks, their friends. And not only that, but he's a suspect in serious criminal offending, violent criminal offending during that time, where he took his children and put them in harm's way. He engaged with a high-powered hunting rifle with police, trying to kill police, right with his children in the line of fire. So that is not the behaviour of a responsible father. It is not someone that we should be celebrating as a country. It is someone that we should be condemning as displaying all the worst attributes of a father in the way they care for their children.
What happens now in terms of a review of how police conducted this? Because the international attention, some of it is focused on, God, how did the Kiwi cops let this guy roam the bush for 4 years?
Yeah, so, that's fair enough. The reality of it is you would have seen in the last 24 hours of the way that the situation has played out, just how difficult the situation was for police to manage. And at the forefront of all of their decision-making, quite simply, was the safety of those children. They knew that they were dealing with an unpredictable, disturbed father that had access to high-powered firearms, and every single decision they took was around averting any tragedy happening or anything happening to those children. I've been the minister for over 18 months. I have watched their operations, their ongoing investigation, the gathering of intelligence. I've spoken to many of the police officers that have been dealing with that. It's been a very difficult situation, but at the forefront of their minds always has been the safety of those children and understanding that it's a highly unpredictable environment. I think we've all seen as a country that play out in the last 24 hours. And in my view, it completely vindicates the police in terms of the approach that they were taking. Because I have no doubt at all that had they got it wrong, then we would have been dealing with the tragic loss of children. And I don't think any of us as a country would have wanted to see that happen.
No, absolutely not. Mark, the officer who's recovering, still undergoing surgeries in hospital, what more can you tell us about him? How old is he? Has he got a family?
So, yes, he's got a family. We'll be, the Commissioner and I will be getting on the road shortly to drive down there, and we want to get down and check on him. Obviously, he came through the surgery well overnight. Just incredibly lucky that he survived. And I want to acknowledge him and the other officers that were on the scene, because in my view, they showed extreme courage and bravery in terms of making the intervention. And look, at the end of the day, Ryan, I get to see and hear about tens of thousands of these positive actions that our police officers do every day around the country, protecting the communities that they serve. And they were often willing to put themselves in harm's way to do that. And I think this was a clear example of that. It hits the police family very hard when you have an officer that is injured in the line of duty like that. There'll be massive support wrapping around him and his family, and the Commissioner and I will be heading down there shortly to check on him personally.
Minister, did the kids know, the kids who were in the campsite, you know, dad had gone, other child had gone, did they know that their dad had been shot and killed, or did police have to tell them that news?
Look, I don't know, Ryan. That is very operational. The one thing that I would say is that certainly from a police perspective, all that they have been focused on and cared about was the safe recovery of those children. And they've got a long road to recovery now. Obviously, they're getting all the support that they need. They've got Oranga Tamariki and wider family support wrapped around them. And I'm very proud of the way the police were able to recover those children quickly and do it in a safe way.